In Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, a man from the future arrives at a diner in Los Angeles where he must recruit the precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him on a one-night, six-block quest to save the world from the terminal threat of a rogue artificial intelligence. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is directed by Gore Verbinski, who has directed films such as The Ring and Pirates of the Caribbean. And Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die debuted at the 2025 Fantastic Fest and will be released in US cinemas starting February 13. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is a wildly imaginative, crazy, funny, entertaining, thrilling ride. I definitely recommend checking out this film. The best way to describe it is a cross between The Terminator, Groundhog Day, and Pulp Fiction. The first hour of this film, because it's quite a long film, but over 2 hours and 15 minutes, the first hour of this film is kind of like a Pulp Fiction type narrative. And in the first 15 minutes of the film, we meet Sam Rockwell. He comes from the future. He comes into this diner and tells all of the patrons in this diner that he needs to save the world and he needs to grab the concise, correct patrons, like 4 or 5 customers in that cafe to take with him to save the world. And he's been in this situation 117 times before, so this is the 180th time that he's tried this, and he's tried different types of customers from this cafe. And I think each person in that cafe has a specific skills that he can use to save the world, and that's why he's tried this so many times. So in that first 15 minutes, once he's chosen his customers from the cafe, then in the first hour of the film, it's kind of like a Pulp Fiction narrative where the title cards of the characters he's met come on the screen, and we get like a 20-minute segment introducing us to this character. 2 of the customers in the cafe that Sam Rockwell chooses are Michael Peña and Zazie Beetz. They play school teachers, and in their segments, they are school teachers, but Michael Peña, he's teaching a class of high school students for the first time, but they're basically addicted to their phones, and they don't care about the class and they don't care about him as a teacher. So he touches the phone of one of the students, and they all turn into like phone obsessed zombies, and then that's basically the whole story in the first 20 minutes of that segment. And then the second segment is Juno Temple. She plays a mother of a boy that was shot in a school shooting, and this segment basically revolves around she lives in a world where there's a lot of school shootings, so that she gets a chance to clone her son. And if she clones her son, then he can be brought back to life. And then, so the world that she lives in is basically a world where kids are just shooting each other all the time, and then they can clone their kids to come back. But when you clone your kid, he doesn't come back as a normal kid. He comes back like 70% normal. It comes like a little bit weird and spaced out. So that's the second segment of the film. And then the third segment of the film, the star of that third segment is Haley Lou Richardson. She plays a woman who is allergic to some phones and a Wi-Fi. So every time she's near a phone or Wi-Fi, her nose starts bleeding and she kind of like blacks out a little bit. And her job is to dressed up as like a children's like a princess where she goes to like birthday parties and entertains the kids. And one day she meets a man who she falls in love with a man who doesn't have a phone, so they fall in love, and then, but this 6 months later into their relationship, he gets addicted to some like online game, and he chooses this online game over her, and that's basically the third segment of the film. So that first hour is those 3 segments, and those 3 segments, you notice similarities between those segments. You think, oh, they're a little bit interconnected a little bit. They have some similarities and some like things that are joined together. And then in the final hour of the film, Sam Rockwell takes these customers that we're introduced to in the first hour. He has to take them 6 blocks away from this cafe to this house, and in his house is a 9-year-old boy who has created or has started to create a very superpowered AI that will destroy the world. And so Samuel has to take his customers to the cafe 6 blocks and to this house, but the journey to this house takes 1 hour. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens along the way, and like all these crazy things that are trying to stop them, men with guns, and there's like CGI babies and this huge CGI cat that's made out of small little cats. It's some very strange imagery that's happening in the second half of the film. But along this whole journey, it sounds crazy, but the film doesn't take itself too seriously. Sam Rockwell, he really steers the ship. He has a lot of excellent one-liners. He makes fun of everybody in the film, and there's just everything crazy that happens along the way. Just is very funny and comical, entertaining and thrilling. And then by the time we get to the end of the film, the final 10-15 minutes of the film, it gets very serious, and everything that we've seen before in the first 2 hours comes full circle, and some of the characters really mean a whole lot than to the central plot than we didn't know before. So, and actually it gets quite emotional and it's very twisty, and you're not really sure what's going to happen. But I don't know, I'm not sure if this film would be as enjoyable on the second or third watch, but for the first time watching this film, I didn't really know anything about this film. I didn't see any trailers or anything, or know anything about this film. I just knew it was directed by Gore Verbinski and it stars Sam Rockwell, and that's all I knew about this film before going in. So if you go into this film not knowing anything about it, then I think you're going to have a very fun ride. I give Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die 4 stars out of 5. This is a wildly imaginative, funny, thrilling, unique ride that doesn't take itself too seriously, and Sam Rockwell really steers his ship. He's very funny, and he really commands the screen. So I definitely recommend checking out this film. It's kind of like a cross between like a Pulp Fiction, Groundhog Day, Terminator type film that it really plays with the narrative structure of the film and really takes you on a really crazy ride. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.